It's your boy, Scro. It's literally me, Scro. I'm literally gonna show you how I literally made this song. I feel like JARON in all of his music, it's like emotional and makes you feel something, and it's like, it's EDM, but at the same time, it's not like, yeah, this is an EDM song. So for a JARON type of song, you need at least 3 things. You need sauce, you need vibes, you need ice, sadness, that's it. Okay, so to start off, I have this piano line. This is kind of cool because I have like these 3-note chords, and you would be thinking, Nick, 3-note chords, those are not sexy or emotional, those are not sad, but I'm not playing triads, I'm playing like extensions, like big jazzy chords, but I'm only choosing 3 notes to play. So right here I have a G sharp minor 9, but I'm only using 3 of those notes. So I have a G sharp, A sharp, and a B. And that dissonance between the A sharp and the B is just so sad. Just let that hit you again. And I do this same thing, like I take a big jazzy chord, but I only choose 2 notes that are like right next to each other to voice it. I have this really interesting sort of like rhythmic thing going on. This is actually me singing. Let's hear what it sounds like without any of the processing. It is distorting. Yes, you're right. Okay, so first up we got, God, this is gonna sound so bad. We have EQ taking out the low end, and then I'm compressing it really heavy. A little bit of a formant filter. Here's normal, where it was. A bunch of reverb. Then I have saturator, which is distorting everything, including the reverb, which gives it a cool sound. And then this is where all the rhythm comes from. I have trance gate, and you can see that it's kind of spinning around this wheel. Every time you see blue, that's when the sound comes through. Now I don't have the mix all the way up, so it's still letting a little bit of the original, but just giving it like this pulsing effect. The piano and everything, we got this. This atmospheric lead sound, kind of giving it some more vibes, some more reverb stuff, and you can see I'm kind of pitch bending it a little bit to go up and down or whatever. Little like fake snare sound. This is just a sine wave, got a pretty decent decay on it. Distorted it a bunch, and then I took out the highs a little bit. Then of course the respace. This is a serum preset. I straight up cracked serum, and I don't know what happened, but I can't get back into it. And at this point, I'm so filthy, rich, famous, and handsome that there's no reason for me not to buy serum. All right, I got some guitar going on. That's me literally playing guitar. Can you believe it, that I actually can play guitar? And I'm using Slate's THU plugin to add all these zany reverb delay stuff. That's a minor 9, major 9, major 7, sad boy, emotional quality. So one day I downloaded a Tekken sample pack, the video game Tekken. This was one of the greatest decisions of that day. Whoever does the sound design for fighting video games needs to be a music producer, because they create the zaniest things. Listen to this. Dude, what even was that? I also added a second snare in this part. This is a Simmons snare. Simmons is like the Phil Collins doo-doo-doo-doo, and then I added a bunch of distortion on it. Let's take a look at the vocals. There's a hole inside my lungs. Quick plug, there is a sweatshirt with the lyrics of this song. So this was recorded in my bedroom with like a little dynamic microphone. Like I did not intend for this to sound good. Super heavy auto-tune, super heavy compression, super heavy noise gate, just like totally slammed. Here's no effects.
There's a hole inside my lung.
Not very good, even with the effects, kind of stinky.
There's a hole.
So I have like my main octave singing like this, there's a hole inside, and then I did 3 falsetto like higher octaves of it, and I panned left, right, and then down the center.
There's a hole inside my lung.
This is the same thing except I added harmonies.
There's a hole inside my lung.
I did a left and right harmony of that, and then I did an octave up of me not falsettoing, like chest voice, like actually yelling it. I purposely did not sing that as best as I could, so don't judge me. Like, I did this in my apartment, and I was just kind of nervous of other people listening to me, so I kind of wish I took the time or just like grew some nads and was like, all right, I'm just gonna sing it really loud. In fact, I'm gonna sing it right now for you really loud. Done, I'm here without you all alone. So the pre-drop, I got this cool sound going on. It's kind of hard to explain what's happening. It's basically me chugging on my low string on my guitar, playing like a major 7 chord. Voiced E, G sharp, and D sharp. And then here comes the drop. One sound at a time. We got the respace. Again, this is from Serum and it's cracked, so I can't show you the preset. Then we got the sub bass. So if you saw my most recent video on how I made my track Last Breath, I used this dubstep growl one shot and just like stretched it out. And because it's so like OTT'd and like bright, it gives the whole drop like nice like bright harshness. Like really bad, like not good at all, but in context. I got some clean guitar chords hitting with that as well. Some nice piano. I have this super gross distorted guitar lead. Cymbals. So let's hear what all of that weird auxiliary stuff sounds like. Kinda awful, not gonna lie. But let's listen to the meat and potatoes of this, the saws. Again, my classic super saw preset on Serum. The chords of this are all super like dissonant. I'm playing a B flat and a B right next to each other for like most all of the chords. Or a B and a C. And this is in the context of B major, so it all sounds quite tasty. Let's check out this pad. So I do this thing to give my like low mid a little bit of booty. I double up a tuba and a piano and I play octaves. And that just gives it that like throaty sound. And then I double it up with some crowd noise. All together. That's not it. I have this sweet lead sound. So for this lead sound, I actually took this little pluck of a guitar and I put that in my sampler, added a bunch of reverb, and then added some distortion. And then I just looped a certain part of it like this. And we got some weird sound. Oh, by the way, obviously this is all sidechained, so I have this group called Stack. It actually is not sidechained to the kick drum. So this is actually sidechained to like a little click sound, because if you think about, like, look at the waveform for a kick drum, it's kind of like, it's got some meat on it. It lasts like a whole 16th note. So the thing with that is if you sidechain something to the kick drum, it will not release and come back up until the end of the sample, even if the release is set at 0. So if you sidechain it to another sound like this, you have way more control over when that release actually ends. So I have this click sound that's doing exactly the same that the kick drum is. I uncheck the master send, so you actually never hear it. I just like take it out of the mix bus, but all of the sends and the sidechaining that it does is still active. And I tried my best to do like a big JARON snare where it just sounds like something's exploding and glass is breaking and heads are shattering. This is as best as I got. Sounds pretty good, not gonna lie. So we got this Cymatics virtual glass sample. We have glass breaking. We have this big clap sound that I made. We have a big EDM snare, another EDM snare, and then this fat snare sample. This is just like an actual snare drum, like slamming it as hard as you can. And then I'm reversing some of that, and you put it all together and you get this big boy. I do that in a lot of my tracks, like designing the snares by kind of doubling up or, you know, putting 5, 6 samples together, and then you get a sound that no one's ever heard before. So in context, let's hear that. So melodic dubstep vibes? I don't know, I'm kind of feeling it. I was producing this song when Enzo recently came out with a track. He put bass shots in his track, and I was like, dude, I'm not a dubstep guy. I don't really want to like brand myself as that, so I never wanted to get close to like, you know, the weird atonal sound designy growl sounds. But I was like, you know what? It's dope. Who am I kidding? Dubstep is sick. So the last thing about this drop, at least, is that during the second half of it, I added some little arpeggio things, just like I always do. Let's hear how those sound alone. This is actually a really simple chord where it's just the 1 and the 5 of a chord. So instead of like 1, 3, 5, where you actually hear the quality of it being minor or major, it's just 1 and 5. It gives it this more like open interval since there's no quality in it. It's just this like open 5th sound, and then I doubled that up. And you add that in it. So that's tight. So of course, since we're trying to make a JARON track, it needs to be emotional 24/7, and we need to get back into like the acoustic vibe with like real instruments. You know, I'm thinking of like, I'm on top of a mountain and I'm just like seeking over the clouds, and like something really sad's just happened, but I'm like learning a lot about myself in the process. So the stack actually cuts off like 100% volume all the way down, and it's a very abrupt cutoff. And then the only thing you hear is the guitar. The really big trick about this guitar part is how you perform it actually. So for any of the producers out there that are also like playing live instruments, I got this trick from Saw and Holo that you actually play it so quiet. Like you record yourself playing it just like as quiet as you possibly can. And in the mix, you bring it way up. So you have this really sweet, serene, organic, bioluminescent, matrix reverse, nutrient dense, organic, sugar-free guitar track that sounds very emotional. I mean, especially that chord, you can hear how delicate I'm like strumming all of those strings. But it's really loud in the mix. I mean, that quiet guitar part is just as loud as these huge chords that are happening. It almost sounds louder. I have this ambient sample of like a rainforest or something. Again, because I feel like JARON tracks are like very in the nature, like rainforest, like really in your feels, you know, just like going over so much like character development and learning a lot about yourself, you know, just like that emotional vibe, I guess. I have this cool sound swelling in and out at the end. And that's me playing like a really distorted guitar part. Dude, does this not make you want to go to shows so bad? Like, how do you hear this and you're not just like, all right guys, on this last song, I want everyone to come up and give me a high five. So that's pretty tight. And then I have a little bit of the vocal going over it as well. And the cool part about this ending is that the last word and the last note in the song is the word alone, which is alone. Of course, the end of the song lasts way longer than it needs to. This is like a whole 5 seconds of just like nature sound effects. because I wanted it to be like, you know, really sad, like I'm here all alone, you know, I'm in my feels, like I'm just vibing by myself, like going through so much, I just can't take it, like there's so much character development happening right now. So anyways, that's the track. Feel free to go to scromusic.com. I hope you are digging my mustache, because I definitely am not. This is the part of the video where the credits like go over my face and stuff. So check this video out if you want to laugh. Check this video out if you want to laugh. Make sure to subscribe. Comment below your favorite wine.